Hey guys and girls, I called my buddy Troy LaHue over at Shane Baits the other day and ordered a few baits, and I just got them in, and I'm getting ready to go out here on Lake Tenkiller and fish with my son Jamie. And I thought I'd show you how I rig these baits because it's kind of important to do the things that I'm doing here. These are, I don't know, open this thing up and see. Oh my gosh. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Is that Christmas or is that Christmas? Look at that. That is Christmas right there. That is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is about 15 or 20 Shane's Alabama rigs, umbrella rigs. That's just absolutely, that is beautiful right there. That is beautiful. But let me see what I got here. There's a little mini, which is one of my favorite ones. This is and he sent me a couple others in here too, but the mini, this is the 5 elements. This is just a regular 5 deal. This is absolutely, and this is kind of an assortment that I ordered, but the mini is the one that I really like to throw a lot. That's my favorite one. This is without a doubt the very best Alabama rigs made. And you look at it and you say, well, what's that make that so good? Well, first of all, it's got this little head on it. It's got really great hardware. It's got a head on it that holds the heads, and you can change the wires out. So if you catch a lot of fish and you eventually break a wire, or you get them hung up a lot and you pull them loose, and you break a wire, you can actually replace these wires. So you can, if you break a wire, what happens most of the time if I break a wire, you got to bend these out, and then we're going to get to an Alabama rig. There we go, right there. Once you got that out, you're about to a really beautiful Alabama rig. Now this one's got blades up here, so you got 4 extra blades here, and when you put 5 baits on it, you got really looks like a school of 9 shad. It looks like a school of 9 shad swimming through there, and it's just perfect hardware. I need to grab me a pair of needle nose up there because these snaps are hard to open, and they're kind of hard on my old fingernails, which is kind of, my hand's a wreck anyway on my fingernails. My fingernails grow like crazy, and yet they're terrible fingernails. I have to cut them about once a week. But anyway, this is a great Alabama rig, but these snaps are really hard, and they're kind of hard on your fingers. You need to kind of open them with needle nose pliers, kind of helps on these. But this is a Shane's Alabama rig right there, without a doubt, the very best made. All right, now here's a couple of things you need to think about. This is very, very important. I'm gonna rig these with a Lucky Swim, and I've got a bunch of Lucky Swims in my box right here. And I'm gonna, I've got an assortment I'm using little 1/8 ounce jig heads, and these jig heads are light wire jig heads, and the reason I've got light wire on there, they'll hold a lot of big fish. I would like, that's a 2/0, I'd really like a 3/0, but this is what I've got in my box right here. Because if you hang these up, you can usually straighten the hooks out and get them back. And in particular, if you're using 50-pound high seas braid. I like 50-pound high seas braid. I throw them a lot on 20 and 25-pound tests, especially on a lake like Tenkiller, where you're not going to get hung up much. You can throw it on fluorocarbon coated or fluorocarbon line, or just regular high seas monofilament line. Works really good, Grand Slam line. But here's what you want to do in rigging these things. As you start to rig these, you want to go ahead and start your swim bait in and come up where it's going to be nice and straight. And I come up to there and I stop. I come right to there and I stop. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put me a little dab of super glue on here and then push this on further up. But I'm gonna wait and just lay that down, and I'm gonna rig 4 or 5 of them at once. I normally, in rigging these, I'll rig these before I go to the lake. I'm rigging them out here on the water today, but I'll usually rig these before I go to the lake. You want this little tail part, this little flapper tail, you want it down, so when you rig it, you wanna make sure you got it in the down position. Now it'll work if it's up also. And I'm not 100% sure it's got to be down, but I like it better if that flapper tail's down. We come up to there, and I'm going to go ahead and rig 5 of them here. Rig 5 of them real quick. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to rig 4, and I've laid me out a Ranowski pre-rigged swim bait. This is a Ranowski pre-rigged swim bait. Ranowski is another one of the companies that Lucky Strike owns. Okay, I've got those rigged, but I haven't slid them on up. You notice they're crooked on there. Obviously, you don't want them that way. And the reason I've done that is, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my super glue out, and hopefully it works. That's anytime you open super glue, you hope that it works, is what you're hoping. I'm gonna take my super glue and I'm gonna lay it out, and I'm gonna glue 5 of them at the same time. Put a drop on there, and then I'm gonna slide this up That's pushing the super glue up with it. Now it's got a perfectly straight bait. That's exactly what I want. Lay that aside. Grab another one. I got glue on my fingers already. You'll just put it right down there at the end. Oh, Jimmy, not so much. A drop is obviously all you need in super glue. I'm like everybody else in the world. I like that Gorilla Glue. I buy the little $5 deals at Gorilla Glue, and I like them a little bit better, but the one I pulled out got down pretty low, and it had turned hard on me through the winter. I want those good and perfectly straight. Lay those aside, get my fingers all glued together. Take this, wipe it off just a little bit. And like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and use, these are pre-rigged. They've already got the rigs on them. Now you need to be sure. A lot of baits come this way. They cut this little plastic deal on there. That's just protection. It's a protection deal that they put on there. For goodness sakes, don't throw that in the water with that on there. That's gotta come off. All that is right there is something to cover that hook up. Now that's a pre-rigged right there. It's already got the jig head and everything in it, so I can put that on just the way it is. I'll go ahead and throw those other 2 hooks in there. And that's a really good, that's a good bait to put on the bottom. Now, what I like to do when I rig this thing, now this can all be the same because it'll rotate easy, but I want to put on the bottom a little bit heavier one. So I've got 1/8 ounce there, so I want to use a 1/4 ounce down on the bottom, or a 3/8 or something just a little heavier on the bottom. That's going to make this ride this way and make that thing run straight, and it doesn't want to roll on the side. Now, because of the way that a Shane's made, it's not going to do that anyway hardly, but you're better off if you put a little bit heavier one down on the bottom. So you got a little heavier one down on the bottom. And then you're going to come in here, and like I said, I need a pair of needle nose pliers. Try to open those. Those are hard to open. And then you just want to come in here now and just slide them on there and shut them back up. I'd rather do that with needle nose pliers, and then again, you want one on the bottom. Now the wire in the middle is always longer. Sometimes I'll put a different color out here on the bottom. In other words, I might take a Lucky Swim in this color right here and put it out here. That just makes it different. I might do something just a little different. So this fish, this one out here is different. Most of the fish you catch on the N1. But I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go, in fact, I'll tell you what I think I'll do. I think I'll just put where'd that Renoski go I took? I think I'll put that Renoski out there on the end of it. Open that up. I hate to not do this with that Renoski's jig head's a lot better jig head than these others that I got. But anyway, then you just simply put them on. You know, now I like to pre-rig several of these. I don't want to fool with this while I'm out there fishing. It's killing me to be doing this right here at the boat ramp, to be honest with you. But you can see now my rig's beginning to take shape. I saw a deal on TikTok. We're starting to post some stuff on TikTok now. Even posting some devotionals up there. I put one of my daily devotionals from my Catch of the Day book up the other day on TikTok. Had 62,000 views. Amazing, I couldn't believe that. TikTok is kind of a nasty channel, but it's got a lot of good stuff on there too. It's got a lot of good stuff. We just started on TikTok back in December. I think we got about 40-some odd thousand followers. Anyway, that's what you want right there. Now, you notice what I did here. I wasn't worried about what's on the bottom. And one of the reasons that you don't have to worry about that quite so much, all of those jigs can be the exact same weight. Some of the baits that are made, that are the Alabama rigs you have that are not near the quality that a Shane's is, you want to put that heavier one down on to keep it from rolling. But this, because it's got that good swivel in there, so you're not going to have any problem. You're better off putting something different on the back side. Now what you got up here is you got 4 shad, your blades are shad, and then you got something down on the other side there. Oh, my new camper trailer just showed up. Well, it's behind somebody else's truck. Anyway, there you go. We're going to throw them out here a little bit today. We're going to throw some crankbaits, might throw some jerk baits. But there you go, ready to go. Thank you, Shane's. That is like solid gold. Lots of double-digit bass in that box. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. Remember, I sure do love you.